For this demonstration, I want to walk through some of the things you can check on a PDF and how to navigate the accessibility features within Adobe Acrobat. The version of Acrobat I'm using is the most up-to-date version available through the University of Michigan license, and I'm working on a Mac computer. In some other demonstration videos you may come across, you might find that they're using a different version of Acrobat, and the menus we're going to look at on the left-hand side and the right-hand side may be reversed. For my first example, I'm going to look at a document that I created using Google Docs. I worked to apply accessibility best practices as best as I could, and then exported it as a PDF. The first thing I can do in Adobe is to review my document properties, as they can tell me a lot. I'm going to come up to the Acrobat File menu and navigate down to Document Properties, which will open a dialog box. It's jumped over to the Advanced tab, but I'm going to back up to the Description tab on the far left. Here I see my document has a title instead of a blank text field, which is great. In the additional text fields, I can add an author, subject, and keywords. I'll just take this opportunity to add an author. Next, I'm going to review the information at the bottom. There's a label for tagged PDF, which says yes. This means that my document does have the tagging required that a screen reader would need to navigate it, and this is good news. I'm going to continue making my way across some more of the tabs, starting with security. My document has no security, and I want to check that the content copying for accessibility is allowed. If I wanted a different security type, I could select that, then use the change settings to make sure that the content copying for accessibility remains allowed, even if there are some other items that I would want to restrict. Next, I'm going to skip this Fonts tab and go to Initial View. Here I want to check that the Show option is set to Document Title. This looks good. Next, I'm going to skip over the Custom tab and move back to Advanced. The main item I'm looking for here is that a language has been set. My document is typed in the English language, and this will communicate that to a screen reader. So far, the document properties look good, so I'm going to click OK. Let's pause and take a quick tour of some of the tools on this right-hand side. Two of the key items for a PDF document to be considered digitally accessible include reading order and tagging. These elements provide structure and an order that a screen reader can follow. We saw in the document properties that my document is tagged, and one way I can look at this is by coming over to this far right-hand panel and clicking the little price tag looking icon. Just scanning this quickly, some key things about this I notice are I have an H1, that's the heading style 1, some paragraphs, and a heading 2. And then at the bottom I have a list. So at first glance, not only do tags exist, but they appear to be correct. Now this is a short document, so that's something I can easily do at a glance. Now let's take a look at the reading order. I can access the reading order from this icon that looks like a Z. It numbers the items on the page according to the order it would be read by a screen reader. If I start at number 1 by clicking on it and use the down arrow key on my keyboard, I can go through and confirm that this is the order which I want this document to be read. Now I have a banner image in the header and footer, and notice that those are not included here. So let's do a scan on this document to check it for accessibility. I'm going to go over to my left-hand panel and open up All Tools. And I have a couple of options. I can use the Prepare for Accessibility, which will generate a report where I can see what the issues are. But for this example, I'm going to use the Guided Actions, which is going to walk me through an accessibility wizard, and I can take these items step by step. So I'll click on the Guided Action menu, and select the Make Accessible option. The file to be processed will be the one I have open right now. Here's a list of the steps we're going to go through. And as we move through them, these items will get checked off as we go. At the bottom of this panel, I'll click Start to begin. The first check is Document Description, some of the document properties we looked at in the beginning. If I wanted to make changes, I could do that right here and click OK. So looking back over at my left-hand panel, I now have two items checked off, Document Description and Set Open Options. The next scan will make sure that text is readable. A page that has been scanned, for example, on a copier or scanner, would need optical character recognition applied in order to be perceivable for editing or to be read by screen reader software. I'll set the language to English output. I'm going to change this option to Searchable Image Exact and click OK. That scan is now complete. And the next check asks me if this document is a form. Since it's not, I'm going to skip this step and continue to the Reading Language check. This is set as English, and I'll click OK. The next check is for alternative text. OK. And it's identified that my banner image at the top does not have alternative text. So I missed a big accessibility best practice here. I'm going to type a description in the text field provided, then use the next arrow to go to the next item, image 2 of 2, which is the image at the bottom in the footer. This is a place where I could choose to use the decorative image option, but I'm going to go ahead and continue with adding the theme description. Now that I've visited and addressed both images, I'm going to save and close. The final step of this wizard is going to initiate the accessibility checker on my document. It's a bit of a long list, so I won't go through it, but I'd encourage you to take a few minutes to explore what's getting checked. There's an option to have an accessibility report saved to somewhere on your computer that you could revisit. This might be helpful if I'm working with a large report that maybe I'm working on over a period of time and coming back to, but know that you can also uncheck that. I'm going to go ahead and start checking my document by clicking OK. This results summary appears in a panel in the far right column. It includes the categories of items that are being checked in this document. And I'm going to expand the document category, and the logical reading order and color contrast are going to be items that get flagged for every document you open and check with Adobe. These are things that the tool is not able to check for us, so it will flag it to let us know that we need to check these manually. Since I've already visited the reading order panel and verified that it looked accurate, I'm going to hover my mouse over the logical reading order item, right-click it, and tell Adobe that this passed. Now Adobe is trusting that I've checked this, so I'm on the honor system. Same with color contrast. This needs someone to check it, and I believe my color contrast is okay, and if there was anything I was unsure about, I could access some color contrast checkers. So I'm going to mark this as something I've checked and passed. Let's go down and look at what my headings have flagged. There is an appropriate nesting error. I'm not totally clear what this error is, but I can hover my mouse over it, right-click, and choose Explain. This will open a help document on how to see and verify PDF accessibility, and I can explore the specific issue and determine how it might be corrected. Once I've done that, I'm ready to save this document and it's ready to share.